Good morning. It is 6:43 a.m. on Tuesday, November 15th, 2016. I am Christiana Ellis and I just got up. This is 5 more minutes. Feeling marginally a little bit more refreshed today. Uh, I am, as discussed previously, I'm embarking on an attempt to start going to bed earlier when I can. And last night, Mike and I recorded talking about Survivor right up until bedtime, pretty much. And so I was limited there, not able to go to bed as early as I think my new sort of regular bedtime will be. And then, of course, tomorrow I'm going to be recording so many levels again. So excited! I love that show. Oh my god, it's so fun. Anyway, tonight though, bedtime early. So, I want you all watching this to hold me accountable. When I talk to you tomorrow, I want to be telling you about how I successfully went to bed early. Or else I better have a pretty damn good excuse. So I'm not going to be putting up with any of my shenanigans. Anyway, we'll see. I'm actually feeling pretty good today, though. I need to, continue to work on that. It's an ongoing process, right? Because, you need some sleep every single day. I've been continuing to make my way slowly through the archives of Critical Role, which is a YouTube series on the Geek and Sundry network. It was it's a big source of inspiration for me in terms of my own interest in D&D. I started with, I've talked about this in the past, but I'd always kind of been interested. And then a big part of what sparked my interest more recently was two things. One was this show called Harmon Quest on the CISO network, and then the other was joining a non D&D but nonetheless tabletop RPG game with some other friends, and just those two things together really re-sparked my interest. But in terms of helping me to develop my own interest in being a dungeon master and my ability to do it, one of the things that I've been watching a bunch of is Critical Role. Which is a bunch of voice actors who are playing D&D. And the episodes are long. There's a ton of material to go through. But I've been watching it, making my way slowly through it, and it's great. It's highly entertaining, I think, and all of the people doing their own characters are great, and it's a good way to see lots of different kinds of things that can happen in a game. But also just Matthew Mercer, who's the DM for that, he's really good, you guys. And I really admire his style, and I hope to learn from his example. Anyway, so I've been watching a bunch of that, and I find that is both entertaining and also helpful in my own development as a DM. The other thing, though, that I think I mentioned this yesterday was the idea that I want to try to get back into doing my writing a little bit. I didn't manage to get any done yesterday, but I at least kind of got the pump primed again, so to speak. So in my report back to you tomorrow about my early bedtime, I expect to also explain that I have, done some writing. That's the plan. Because I got a lot of, I feel like I'm in a weird spot now compared to where I've been in the past, where I had finished projects but kind of nothing on deck. Whereas now, I feel like I have a lot I have, all of Phyllis, which I could edit and then do something with. And then I have another novel that's like 85% done with the rough draft. I feel like it needs another polished draft before I finish it. And then, normal editing process. But then I also have like half a dozen other little smaller things, a short story that I've gotten some feedback on that I could make modifications to. Um, so I've got like a lot of material to work with. I just need to kind of actually do that stuff with it. So I need to get on that, start releasing some of this material. I think I maybe need to. I tend to have the problem where I need to just go ahead and pick one of them and work on that until it's done. Um, it's a constant source of frustration for me though. This back and forth where if I pick just one thing and say I'm not going to work on anything else until that's done, then I tend to just not work on anything, and it takes a long time. But I eventually finish it. Whereas the flip side, where I kind of let myself work on whatever I want, I work on more stuff, but nothing gets finished. I've had difficulty balancing those two approaches. But anyway, I've got to go ahead and start getting ready for work. So I will talk to you guys tomorrow for 5 more minutes, and I expect to report that I have A, done some writing, and B, gone to bed at a reasonable hour. Hold me to it, people. All right, talk to you tomorrow for 5 more minutes.